Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. So we've been working with lots and lots of people who've come to us with sciatica, and a lot of them are wondering if it's been sat down more during lockdown, and a lot of people have been asking a lot of smart questions, a little bit self-conscious, and some of the blokes that come to us have been saying, Mike, do you think it's because I've gained quite a bit of weight over the last year or over the last few years? That's what's causing my sciatica? And what you notice is, you know, when people ask a question like that, they tend to look down at the ground, they tend to feel self-conscious. So what I would say straight away is, I have met people who are carrying extra weight where they've got sciatica, and I've met loads of people where they're really slim, there's not an ounce on them, as people would say, and they've got sciatica too. So the big reason why I'm pointing this out is I meet people all the time, they've had sciatica for donkey's years, they could have been helped, they've been to see other healthcare professionals, and it seems from what the patient has said to me that other healthcare professionals have blamed everything, right down to the colour of the tie that the patient's wearing, on the weight. And so then what happens is when people come in, they feel guilty, they feel embarrassed, they feel shameful. And this is people who are looking for help. And the problem is, if somebody's been in pain for a long time, it can get difficult to do any exercise. It can get difficult to eat well, because if we've been in pain for a long time, guess what? A lot of us are going to comfort eat. So you've got to add those things up and look at a person and say, okay. Is the weight a factor? And it can be, it certainly is in a lot of people. And a lot of times people realise that when we've built up extra weight over time, it can aggravate our sciatic nerves 100%. It can aggravate the discs in our back, it can aggravate the joints in our feet, ankles, knees and hips. But it has a big effect on the rest of us. It can affect our blood pressure a lot, and it can affect our heart a lot. So if we're carrying extra weight and our blood pressure's gone up, it sounds scary, and that's because it is, that high blood pressure is really early stage heart failure. It sounds quite blunt, but it's better to know the truth, isn't it? So then people say to me, Mike, I've got all this extra weight on, can you help me? And we've helped lots of people of lots of different weights. I've worked with people who are, let's say, 5'10" and weigh about 9 stone, right through to people who are 5'10" and weigh 19 stone. So we often get people, and I don't like this, where because they've been told by other people, it's your weight. And I'm thinking, yeah, but help the person. Why don't you offer some support, and why don't you get stuck into working with that person instead of taking the cop out of blaming the weight? Because that's what it is. If a patient's been to see people with health problems and everything gets blamed on the weight, then the people that have seen that person before might not have done everything they could for that person. So the thing is, a lot of patients, once they start getting better, they start feeling better about themselves, and then happy days, they start thinking about, maybe I'll lose some weight, maybe I'll help myself. And I love that, because at the heart of chiropractic and what we do to help people, it's recognising that your body is really good at repair, your body's really good at healing, your body's really good at adapting, changing, progressing, so's the rest of you. And the thing is, when people start doing some things to look after themselves, you see whatever problem they came in with, you see that take off, and you also see the rest of the person and the rest of the life take off. So there's 2 really simple pieces of advice I would give. And first of all, I'd say, a bit of a disclaimer would be, usually we don't get stuck with extra weight, and I've been there. I used to weigh about 3 stone more than I do now for years, right? Used to weigh 3 stone more than I do now, so I've got an idea of what I'm talking about. We're not short of strategies and methods to get weight off our weight. I mean, you know, if you drive for about 2 miles, you're going to see Slimmers World signs. If you go on the internet, you're going to see diet products, you're going to see books on losing weight. And everyone's got the internet now. So you can find out millions of diets, well, maybe not literally, but you can find out hundreds of diets and you can find out hundreds of ways of working to lose weight. But the problem is, most people are not short of methods. It's just being in the right frame of mind. So there's two things that I've found have worked with patients when they've asked me about this. I don't tell people this routinely, this is kind of behind the scenes, but if somebody says to me, Mike, what would you do to lose the weight that I've got? I would say, well, the first thing is, have you got a photograph of yourself when you're at a good weight? And again, with phones, most of us have now, especially if you go back through your Facebook for the last 8-9 years. So if you've got a photograph of you when you were at the weight that you liked, and you print that out or you put it as your home screen on your phone, what that's going to do for you is it's going to act as a reminder of, I've done this before. So when somebody wants to lose weight and they think, God, I can't do it, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be tough. If you've got a picture of you when you did it before, and you've got a picture of when you were at the right weight for you, you've got something to aim for then. Dead easy. Second thing is you get a piece of paper, you draw a line down the middle, and on one side, you write down all the things that are more likely if you don't lose weight. And everybody knows what they are. Things like heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart attacks, arthritis. And then on the other side of the paper, you write down all the good things that could happen when you lose the weight that you want to lose. So you might write things like, I might live another 5 years in good health. I can play with my children. I can play with the grandchildren. I'm not going to get out of breath. I'll feel better about myself. I'll feel better in my clothes. And if you do those two exercises that we've just said in the last 2 minutes of the video, it starts generating motivation and enthusiasm and reasons why you want to do it. Because if somebody's carrying extra weight, and again, I've been there, I used to weigh 3 stone more than I do now, and you say to yourself, oh, I need to lose some weight, maybe I should lose some weight, I'd like to lose some weight. It's really, really vague, and it's difficult for our mindset to do something constructive with that, because we're just saying something that's very vague when we say that. Whereas if we've got a picture of how we want to look, because we already used to look that way in the past, we'll go, whoa, I'd like to be like that again. You start then wanting to do things to get back to a good weight. Notice I said get back to a good weight, because nearly all of us were the right weight at one time. And then when you get that piece of paper and write all the things that are more likely to happen that are bad if we don't, and all the things that are going to happen that are going to be good when we lose or release the weight that we don't want, it starts setting you up to move there. And then once you've done that, then by all means go and look at what diet are you going to do, what activity are you going to do, what are you going to eat, are you going to work on a program yourself at home from some books that you've read, or are you going to go and join some form of slimming club? Who knows? There's plenty of success stories out there as well when you get looking. So I would just leave you with that advice. And if you're watching the video or you share the video with somebody who's thinking, oh, you know what, I've got this leg pain, I've got this back pain, it's all my fault, I've lost weight, I need to lose weight, I should say. What I always find is once you help somebody even a little bit start moving forwards, it gets a lot easier when they've got some help and some support to start doing what they need to do with the weight. So there you go, guys. That's my take on things. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a good afternoon. Don't forget to keep moving, and I'll speak to you soon.